talk about dogs and cats with the pet vet, but today our topic is bats. Dr. Sandy Norman works at the State Board of Animal Health, and there have been a lot of calls recently, Sandy. So what is it with bats?
Well, bats are about the time when it gets hot. We have bats. Bats are very important to us. Bats eat lots of insects, so they're part of our insect control. There's nothing wrong with them. But about this time of the year, the bats break up their nurseries. The mothers kick the babies out, and so you'll see more bats out and about because they're moving around. They're going to new places. So starting usually about the 1st of August to October is when we get most reports about bats.
And this
around.
becomes a big concern for our pets.
Yeah, it does, because bats are the one species in the state we know that carries rabies. Now, not very many bats are positive. Only about 2 to 10% of our bats are positive. So not every, in fact, most bats you see are not. But our pets tend to like to play with them. They like to catch them when they're in a house or outside. So it's important that your pet's rabies vaccine is up to date because that's what keeps them protected.
So what should we do if our pet does catch a bat?
Okay, so first of all, of course, make sure the vaccine's up to date. If you get a bat and your pet catches it, if they get bit, that's the most important thing. So only if they catch it or you find it in your living area, you can get it tested by your county health department, but you want to have some kind of exposure. Just because you see bats flying does not mean you're exposed to rabies. So that's not what's important. It's important is if your pet catches a bat or your child gets exposed to bats in the same room with them when you're sleeping or when they're playing, because then you potentially want to have it tested. Most bats aren't infected, and so you don't need to test every bat you see.
And who do we call to get that bat tested?
Okay, your county health department, your veterinarian can send it in for you, but your county health department can also send it in. But remember, it has to be what we call a high-risk exposure in order to test it. But just remember, bats are very important. We love bats because they eat insects, but we just don't want them in our living areas.
Now, who did we bring with us today? Not a bat to get adopted.
No, this is Oliver. Oliver is a Beagle mix. He's about 28 pounds.
Oh.
He's a sweet guy. He's 2 years old. Very sweet. Probably gets along with older children better. He's a typical hound, so he likes to sniff things and he likes to howl a little bit because he's a hound. But
so
if you can give, he says he's a little bit noisy. So if you can give Oliver, one of his friends, a home, call the Humane Society of Indianapolis. There's the phone number. Drop by and visit Oliver. If you like beagles, he'll fit in perfectly.
Great. Thank you so much for stopping by, Sandy. We always appreciate it. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you.